welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show, where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. And it's still Washington Wine Month, and we're still reviewing Washington wines. And I'm reviewing one of my favorite Washington State varietals, Merlot. I think I've said it many times, Washington State does some of the best Merlot in the world, only rivaled by the right bank in Bordeaux. We all know the story about how Sideways kind of ruined Merlot sales, but you know, I know a lot of wine aficionados understand the value of Merlot and what it's all about. It was originally used as mostly a blending grape, but in Bordeaux, on the right bank, Petrus and Cheval Blanc are primarily Merlot, and those are some very expensive, very sought after, very respected wines. In fact, in that movie, at the very end, the dude that dished Merlot was drinking Merlot in the burger joint. He was drinking the Cheval Blanc. So we're going to look at Merlot from Washington State. Now, I've been thinking about this. A lot of these wines that I've been tasting, they're 20 plus. We have a 20, a 24, and a 32 here. And for a lot of you, that isn't always your price range. It's not always my price range, that's for sure. So I think at the end of the month, the last two episodes will be more like, your grocery store Washington wines. Maybe some Hogue Cellars, some Columbia, some Chateau Ste. Michelle, the intro levels. I mean, obviously Chateau Ste. Michelle makes some really upscale wines, but I'm just talking about those wines that are under $15. I think it would be very important to do some of those from Washington State, and perhaps do them blind. In fact, I wanted to do this blind, but I didn't have any wine bags around. Oops, I got to stock up on my wine bags to cover them up. All right, let's get started right away. This is now we reviewed the Two Mountains Red Blend, I think last week or 2 weeks, a few episodes ago anyway. This is a 2016 Two Mountain Merlot, Copeland Vineyard, Yakima Valley. Yeah, this rolls in at $20. There you go. So we'll give it a little rinse here. I'm trying to work on my pouring skills as well. I got some good feedback. Thank you very much on the blind tasting. I think a lot of you like the blind tasting format, and I intend on doing it more, of course. But for now, we're just going to review these straight up. I've never had the Two Mountains Merlot before, so let's see what we get on the nose. I like this winery. Their blend is my pick of the month down at King's Market, where I work. It is the pick of the month for Washington Wine Month. I liked it that well. Let's see what we get on the nose. So this is like a dark cherry with a little bit, I got a tiny hit of salal leaf. Definitely tobacco coming through. A little perfume, like I get a little perfumed cherries and perfumed red flowers coming through. Yeah. Fairly aromatic. One of the things about Washington State Merlot that makes it different, like let's say from California, for example, is the acidity level. This has a nice bright spine of acidity. It tends to be a little bit higher in Washington State. This has a lot of cherries on it. The only thing that disappoints me about this wine, just to be straight up honest right off the bat, not a lot going on. I just get straight kind of chalky tannins and cherry notes. Maybe just a hair of red flowers. Maybe a tiny bit of a tobacco at the end. But overall, straight up, just kind of blah, blah. It's good, doesn't taste bad, but even, for 20 bucks, I want a little bit more going on with my wine. It's just right there. It's, like I said, it has acidity, gives it a little bit of a lift, red cherries, a little bit of red flower, and some tobacco. But overall, just kind of blah, boring, blue, you know. 20 bucks, I don't know about you, but I want just a little bit more out of my, now if this bottle were $12, I'd be stoked, but still be boring. Yeah, I'm not feeling that one at all. It's just, for 20 bucks, I expect more complexity. It's just kind of boring. Just kind of sits there. Doesn't really do anything for me at all. However, that being said, there's nothing wrong with it in the way of flavor. It certainly doesn't lack flavor. God dang, I wish I knew how to pour wine. I got drops all over. I think it's the level I'm sitting at, really, because I'm kind of reaching over the top. That should change in my new digs. I'm going to have a studio there with my bar, and you know, it should be a lot better. I just think it's the way I have to lip the wine. Anyway, we're going to go just straight up C. It's an average wine, a little high price for what you get, but we'll give it a C. Let's move on. The 2014 Sioux Creek Palisades Columbia Valley Merlot. Columbia Valley is the biggest AVA in Washington State. There's 14 now in Washington State. I'm sure there's going to be more pretty soon. Sioux Creek, 24 bucks. Let's give it a little rinse. See, I think it's that angle I have to come out right there. Maybe I should stand up and pour it. In fact, hold on just a minute. This is driving me crazy. I'm going over to get a paper towel to clean up all the drops. Give me just a minute. This is driving me absolutely crazy, and I just figured out what it is. All right. So 14 AVAs in Washington State. Lewis and Clark Valley is one of the more recent ones. This is from Columbia Valley, which is a huge appellation. In fact, there are many sub-appellations inside Washington State. There we go. Woo! That's a little better. So Sioux Creek, I have had many of their wines. I like them a lot. Sorry. Let's see what we get on the nose. Man, I'm telling you. This is a little bit of a meat marinade, sort of a Worcestershire sauce. This too has this has like a perfume bark notes on it, a little bit of tobacco. Definitely some dark cherry notes and a little hint of chocolate, which you guys are going to like. Let's see what we get on the palate. Definitely richer on the palate. Good dark cherry notes with a hint of currants. I get a lot of chocolate coming through underneath, which a lot of you guys are going to like. Not the sweetness of the chocolate, the flavor of the chocolate. And it's more of a milk chocolate flavor than bittersweet. I get the tobacco, get a little bit of bark coming through. It's very, very smooth, polished tannins. And again, just to emphasize, there's a little more acidity in Washington State Merlot. You get a little bit of that. You can feel the acid, but it's so well integrated with this wine. I really like this wine a lot, a whole bunch, majorly. I like that little hit of a barbecue spice meat marinade. It hits right on the middle, right on the top of the mid palate. Nice flow across the palate, very seamless. Good complexity, not boring. Good complexity. I like it a lot. I'm gonna go straight up A. I think it's an A wine. I think it has solid elements to it. I think it will age. I like the integration. I like how smooth it is. I like the complexity. I like a lot about this wine. I am going to be generous today and go A on that wine. Yeah, that'll age for sure. And then those chocolate notes kind of hit on the back end. Sorry. Let's move on. 2014 Otis Canyon Merlot, and this is from Walla Walla Valley. By the way, Lewis and Clark Valley appellation is just east of Walla Walla, a little bit northeast of Walla Walla. This rolls in at $32. No chump change there. I think I just need to focus on my pouring skills. I just don't I think I'm taking it for granted that I actually know how to pour wine. I've done it for a long time. See what we get on the nose. $32. Now, each of these has a very different nose. This has a little bit of a starter fluid, kind of hit me a little bit on this. Red flowers, bark, a little bit of beauty bark coming through. Definitely red flowers, kind of blended with the red cherry. And tobacco. I like the nose on this. Let's see what we get on the palate. This is going to be known as the napkin episode. Wow. Interesting wine. My first thought as I was tasting it was, wow, this baby is closed up. And it is. I mean, it is not showing its full potential. Now, I didn't trust my gut in the past. I'm going to trust my gut from now on, because one of the things I've been very good at in the past is figuring out how wines will age. And I don't know if it's, well, it's just palate experience. You know, after you've tasted thousands and thousands of wine and you watched how they developed and you thought before, well, this one will age and it doesn't, et cetera, you become sort of, you know, you get a little bit of skill set at that. And I just feel that this wine is brooding. There's stuff in there that is not showing itself right now. It has deep earth notes, bark and tobacco. There's good acidity that's lying underneath. Kind of hits you on the back of the finish. Right on the tongue, you can feel it. Especially on the back end, the tannins get a little bit of a gritty kind of grippiness to them. I just feel right now that the fruit is not evolving past the savory notes on this wine right now, but I can feel it. I can feel it. It's there. It just needs time to open up. It needs time to age. It's just not showing its full potential right now. Now, the difference between these two, I said this was boring, and I was serious about that. It just kind of had, you know, a couple of dimensions, not much going on. This has so much underneath the savory, earthy elements. I can just see it. There's dark cherry, there's currants, they're waiting. They're like, I want to get out, I want to get out. But they're not out yet. They're not there yet. They will get there. I would like to lay down a bottle of this for 5+ years. I think you're going to get an excellent wine. I think that later today. And I'll verify it when I post this or on my next episode, whether or not this really opens up even more. I've had these open for a while, but like I said before, unless I throw it in a decanter, you're not going to get that. But I don't do that because I know most of you are not going to do that. So I like to review the wines the way you're going to drink them. You know, it doesn't mean I don't encourage decanting. I do. I think this would benefit from some decanting. So that being said, because I don't really know where it's going to go 5+ years, I'm going to go B+, A-. I think it has great potential. I think it will reach levels beyond where it is right now. I can just tell. There you go. So I didn't think these were the best Washington State Merlots I've ever had by any chance, by any means is what I meant to say. But they're very good. I really like the Palisades a lot. I think this has great potential. And you know, I think if this was under $15, you know, I would go for it. But you know, don't waste your money at 20. You keep watching. Oh, I always jump ahead of things. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. I'm getting more subscribers. Right now I'm at a standstill. You know, and I have friends that aren't subscribed. I'm like, why are you not subscribed to the channel? Why? Why? It doesn't hurt. It doesn't do anything. Just subscribe. I really appreciate it if you did. Really do. Hook up with me on Instagram, Stan the Wine Man, Twitter, Stan the Wine Man. Thanks for taking a little time out of your day. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.